Good morning. My name is Jean. I am a knitter. And last week I wasn't knitting. This week I did a little bit of knitting. I'm trying to get good at two-color brioche. And I wasn't really expecting much, but I have completed a sample swatch that I'm willing to show you. Here we go. If you look at it, you will see there are some issues with it. It wasn't quite right at the beginning. I was knitting my way all the way across. You'll see that? Yeah, that isn't right. But if you look at it up close at the top, you'll see, yes, it is two-color brioche with knit on both sides as the, I don't know, it's sort of a knit one, purl one rib that went a little loopy. And I can knit it consistently without peering at the directions for every single stitch. Now, this is progress, but it isn't quite what I want because I have to read a chart in order to get my increases and decreases right to get the pattern. Can I knit following a chart? Sort of. Can I knit reading my knitting? Just like that. So I've got to work a little bit more on what I'm doing with this, but I am making progress. Brioche rib, brioche, two-color brioche comes out much bigger, so you need to knit it on a smaller needle than you thought you had to for it to come out really dense and soft and squishy. But I'm learning. I'm getting there. Now, the other thing that I am doing is I noticed something really, really weird about my studio. My studio is a room where I keep the door closed more often than not if I'm not in it. If I'm in it, door's wide open. But I had been out and about, walked into the house, put all my junk down. You know how you never walk into the house with empty hands. Only a man can do that. Women cannot do that. And put all my junk down, walked into my studio, and I realized my studio smells nice to me. It smells like I do a lot of sewing, so it smells like hot iron, it smells like spray starch, it smells like freshly washed fabric, it smells like my studio. And it smells good, and it makes me happy to walk into my studio and just breathe. I don't know. Part of that is that I have recently moved, and when you move into a house that's not new construction, and even if you move into a house that's new construction, because I've done both, it doesn't smell like home. It smells like somebody else's house, and I work like mad, and I clean things, and I burn scented candles, and it doesn't smell right until I've lived there for a while. And I realized that even though we moved into this house a few months ago, my studio smells like home right now. And that's a good feeling. So I'm making progress with this brioche. I'm not killing myself. I will also say it's very, very difficult to work from a complicated brioche chart which has lots and lots of unfamiliar symbols and unfamiliar terms, and you're trying to figure out if you're working on a light side row with the light side color, doing a knit stitch. Oh my word. When your husband is wandering in and out of the house saying things like, I just ordered a new projector for the job that I've got to do a demo for. And the dog is saying, Mom, will you play with me? And your husband keeps going like, didn't you want to watch that movie? And you're just trying to make sense of it. And you're just trying to keep knitting. And you really want to say, go away, leave me alone, this is complicated. But it's rude, so you don't. And you just struggle with it. And you put it down, and you can't remember where you put it down because he interrupted you. And you want to beat him about the head and shoulders and say, leave me alone, I want to keep knitting. But you also want to stay married, so you don't. And eventually you do get a chance and you do keep knitting and it's all okay. And I struggle with it, but I do keep knitting. And I love my husband dearly. And I do keep knitting. And I am still married. And it will all work out in the end.